Okay, we've put the Loctite on. Quite a decent bead. Like I say, I'm not worried about it going anywhere because it'll wash out. It doesn't go hard if it oozes out anywhere. Put a bit of oil in all the followers and stuff. I have just got to, while I think about it, put the remaining cam followers in. These are the ones that sort of can drop out, but they're quite, the holes are a bit grubby to be fair, so they'll probably just stay in. You can buy special clips to go sort of the other side of these cam followers, and they sort of hold them in, but I ain't got any of them. Never needed any. I normally just put my fingers on it, so hopefully this should all just go together without rubbish. I'll put all my cam bearings in, I don't know what you can see on the camera, on this side, the half bearings on this side. Those bearings are seated, the timing marks, we'll just double check their timing marks. Yeah, timing marks are lined up. Yeah, just double check them dots are together as they were before. Distributor drive, yeah, is good. So, let's have a look, see if it'll, let's have a look-see, see if it'll go back together. See if I can aim it up right. Right, I think what I've done before is just wedge, put something on it so it can't tip back down. A bit of the tap with the rubber mallet. I'll get the rubber mallet. Bit of a see if we're still turning. Yeah, which, as you're doing this, you just got to keep checking that you're still turning all the time. I might speed up some of this video if it drags out a bit. Right, I've cleaned all the washers up. So basically, a nice bead of seal around there. And bang the washer on. Like I say, these are renowned for leaking. They always leak, especially if you put them dry. They shouldn't do because they've got the rubbers in between the case, but they do. Quite often it's these two, and you can get to that one and that one without taking the engine apart or taking the heads off or anything. So sometimes you can sort of take the nut and washer off, bang a load of it, clean it up dead well, bang a load of this in and tighten it up, and it kind of stops it. That's the ideal. Hopefully we won't have a problem like with that. Obviously I appreciate if anybody comments, say yeah, you should be doing this on a clean bench and you should be doing this and that. Yeah, I haven't got a cleaner bench. This is a bench I've got. Space is a bit limited, but you know, I don't really do engine builds. It's not really. I tend to do just top end stuff, buy and sell the odd engine, and just do top end repairs. Just put them back together. But on this occasion, I have got a pair of single port heads. I'll show you them in a bit. I've got a pair of single port heads I've stripped off an engine that was in my garage, which I don't know the history of at all. Let's put that washer on there. Yeah, I don't know the history of the engine. I've took the sort of heads off it, and so these are 16 single port heads that were off another engine, and the inlet valves aren't bad, but the exhaust guides, they've got plenty of play in them, because it's been run with, it's been sort of left and the bores have gone rusty, and I think a couple of the valves are a bit rusty. So I think what I'm going to do is buy a set of valve guides. I have put them in before myself, but I ain't got the facilities to recut the seats and stuff, which you really should do if you're doing valve guides, because it changes the sort of alignment. Sometimes you get away with it. I have done it where it's just one guide, and I've done it and lapped it and lapped it and lapped it, and eventually you get the seat right. But really, the best, you really meant to do it a different way. You meant to sort of machine them in at the same time. Now, are they 15 or 17? You tell me. 17, okay. I have got the torque settings for these somewhere. I think they're on my phone, so once I've sort of... So the idea is basically to do them up. There's a torque sequence, but I'll nip them all up first and then I'll do the torque sequence. Looks a bit messy, this sealer, but I find this is the best way to do it. I've never had any of these bolts leak ever. And I've had plenty of recons where they've come and they've leaked. They've not got sealer on and they've leaked, so let's have a look. Yeah, we're still spinning, that's good. I'll give that one a nip them up a bit more. Okay, I'm just going to stop you a bit while I get these torque settings. I'll start you again when I'm torquing it up. Okay, we're ready to do a bit of torquing. The order of torquing them is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how critical, it probably is reasonably critical. It's basically doing the middle ones first. Let's have a look. So this is just a 15 foot-pounds. Number 2. Normally do a couple of clicks on them. Number 3. Okay. And number 4. Number 4. This number 5. Didn't do 2 clicks. Okay. And number 6. Okay, so it says check the rotation. You can tell, I mean, you can feel the end flow because there's no shims in, so as long as you've got end flow and it spins over pretty freely. It's easier if you've got a flywheel on, but obviously you can't do that yet, but that's fine, that's not locking up. This is the point where if when I nipped them up it would have got a bit tight or anything, that's the time to stop, take it apart and re-see, check your dowels and whatever. But if the dowels weren't right, you can see it's touching on all the surfaces now. I will wipe a lot of that off, but you can see it's touching on all the surfaces, so there's no way it's crushed a dowel and you wouldn't know. So the next one is 20 foot-pounds. 20, where are we? 20. Okay. To be honest, it doesn't go up that much really. Okay. Two. 3. Okay. 4. 5. 6. Okay. Moment of truth. Make sure the distributor drive's not coming out. You just got to watch that distributor drive. Really, I should put a distributor in it now, but now I know I can take the drive out. I could take the drive out and move it round, but yeah, that's sweet. That is. That's no wrong with that. Right, so 24 foot-pounds. So 22, 4, and a little bit more for good luck. We always like to do just a little bit more for good luck. I do. Sometimes it backfires, but just a little bit more for good luck doesn't hurt sometimes. Okay. Okay. Best not be scratching that van actually, not that it matters. It's going to be all painted at some point. Okay, that's number 2. Five. Okay, 6. Right, let's just make sure it spins still now. It doesn't. Just put a pulley wheel on it. Okay, I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's alright. little bit. I think that's fine. Keeps wanting to come out, that's part of the problem. Struggles to dry, keeps wanting to come out. Okay, I think what I'll probably do is I'll video putting all the rest of the bolts on. Basically now you're just down to these bolts. I think there's that one goes there, that one at the bottom. There's a longer one somewhere. I can't remember where the longer one goes. Underneath, I think. There's basically three bolts like that, basically. And all the rest is nuts, like these two, all the way around. So I'll just go around and double them on, and then nipple. They're all 14 foot-pounds. And then I'm going to leave this for a bit. Let it all dry really nicely. And then while I'm sorting out the heads, I've probably got to get the heads machined, so that might take a while. So I can be cleaning other bits up. I've got to clean the heads up. I'll do a video of that, clean it up. That's basically it. I mean, yeah, it's not loose, but it's not, you know, it's a new bearings. When I've built them up before, it turns pretty easily, and I am on a small pulley. If I had the flywheel on, it would whiz over. So yeah, I think now I'll go around and tighten all the rest. Once I've done that, I'll probably go in there and lather up all these bearings with a bit more grease and oil. Obviously there's an oil pump to put in at some point. You don't have to do that yet, this is not essential yet. So yeah, these two either side sort of the cam, I will put seal around those ones as well, because they kind of come through the whole case, as you can see. Same with this one at the front here, that one at the top there, and one at the top there. The top one's not so bothered, and the bottom bolt one I'll probably put a bit of sealer on that as well, just to be sure. I don't want no leaks. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, until you've had it running and the engine's got hot and stuff, you don't, you know, there was no sign of there being a problem with the case before, so I don't see as there will be. The only thing you sometimes get a new bearing is a little bit, I don't know, some of these new bearings, I've had it before, you put a big end on it, it just feels a little bit not as smooth as you'd imagine it to, and they've never been a problem. I think it's just maybe the build quality, you know, or the machining of the crank exact, you know. But no, that feels, no obvious tight spots, same very slight bit of resistance with the weight of the crank, but that's it. It's nice and smooth all the way, no real tight spots, it's locked up. So yeah, I'll carry on. I won't talk anymore now. I'll carry on just doing the rest. You can watch me put all the rest on, but I'll probably fast forward that. So that's it basically. Hope you're enjoying it. If you're enjoying it, subscribe, give me some likes. If you think I've done it completely wrong, tell me. I'm not going to listen. I'll probably just carry on the way I'm going. But you know, like I say, I'm not a professional engine builder. I don't pretend to be, but I've built quite a few up and I've done it this way and never really had a problem. So, you know, hopefully that should be the case again. I do like to put new nuts on most of the time. Some of the recon places, some of the cheaper recons, they'll use the same old nuts, and I can kind of understand in a way, because they are cheap recons, but it's a bit crap in it really. You know, the cost of a handful of nuts to do, I don't know, is it 20 odd or whatever, a handful of nuts to do a job like this, it's not a lot in the general scheme of things. It just looks so much nicer if you put new nuts on as well, you know. I'll probably have to do these with a socket, aren't I? Get a socket. Must remember to just take the tension off the torque wrench. Should always take the tension off the torque wrench before you put it away, otherwise it knackers them up basically. You leave it on while you're doing the job, but you're meant to sort of detour, you know, loosen them off. That's it. Leave a nut in there so we can get these on, makes it a bit easier. I think I'll put all the ones on where they're not bolts first. So I'll put a bit of sealer on these ones.